that is what happens. And there is, and being the devil's advocate here, I can understand some rationale behind it to some certain extent, but we definitely believe it's the wrong thing to do. And yes, I can understand that you don't want thousands of patients in a top researchers session. If you go on the internet, you probably can read that some doctors are going to cure lymphedema. I'm sure you find it. Now, unfortunately, at this stage, to my knowledge, it is not true. And someone going to see their doctor saying, look, this is what is going to happen, and you're going to cure me, unfortunately, I wish it was true, today is wrong. And I understand some professionals who don't want to be in that situation, having to face that. But still, we believe you need to engage the patients into the discussions. Okay. Last but not least, and we have talked about the previous conference. Our next conference is going to be June 28th, 30th in Montpellier, south of France. South of France, end of June. Good weather, good food, and a very strong scientific program with quite a few keynote speakers. Some of them you have met today, Vaughan and Neil Pilar being some of them. It is available as a small leaflet. We welcome all those involved with the management of or living with lymphedema. So there will be a patient's stream for of at least 2 days for the patients. We do things slightly differently than other conferences, and we like that. You have seen pictures of yoga. In the last 2 conferences, we have had yoga demonstrations open to everyone. And this year, one of the focus will be children, and we are very grateful with the Swedish Association of explaining us their experience with the camps, and there will be a children camp because we believe it's important, and we need to do some things in that. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any question or any you need any information, please do not hesitate to visit our website, and if you use contact on that website, it will come down to us.
Thank you very much. We may have some questions for you.
Yep.
Yeah. We have some questions for Pierre, and I know the answers, but the persons who put the questions don't.
Okay.
So please.
I might not know them.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
So it's not a test, it's just
Okay.
thank you for letting us to know more about ILF. One question is, in other countries, how have they managed to fund the translation of the best practice document into their language? And how do they manage the distribution costs, and who do they distribute the document to?
Okay.
That's 3 questions.
3 questions. Okay. For the new version of the best practice document, first of all, as a charity, we believe that all our publications should be made available to everyone. So all our publications are available free of charge on the website, most of them in English, etc. For the new document, what we are going to do is obviously have it available free of charge here. We will have hard copies. You will be able to purchase hard copies on internet through our website. And then we will have a third option, which is having the hard copy, but not wanting to pay for it. So you will put your name in a list, and that list will be forwarded to our industry partners. And then they will choose or not to choose to give you those copies. The distribution or making this document as widely available as possible is definitely a challenge. today we are more or less secured in terms of financing from the industry, but we also want to approach the European Union and other big charities to find the funding to make that document available, and that includes the translation.
And then, what does ILF do to contribute to better access to treatment for patients in outlying areas that is far away from, I guess that's far away from where therapists are? Like in Stockholm, there's treatment to get to many therapists, but then we have other regions in Sweden where there's not that many.
Well, we are doing our best. Now, and I don't think it would be a good idea if we had a direct action in Sweden, for example. We strongly believe that in Sweden, you know what has to be done, and you will need to find out. All we can do is help you with the methodology, either with the national frameworks, or the work we are doing with the industry, showing them that there are needs in every country, and that we had that comment from an American lady who was working in poor countries, and she said, but where she came from in the States, you didn't have a practitioner, lymphedema practitioner. You needed to drive 4 hours to have access to a practitioner because she lived in a very, very remote area of the States. So the problem is somehow the same. And yes, it's by engaging the health authorities that you will be able to do that. But we can't do it for you. It has to come from Swedish initiatives.
You can compare that with, in Sweden we have local societies. In one region, for example, we don't jump in there. I mean, the national organization doesn't. We don't jump in there and direct what they should do and so on. And it's the same with you. I mean, we can ask for your support for anything, which is fantastic. But we will have to fight. We will have to do our fight.
Yeah. And that's and it's part of the recommendations you need to do is defining the system of care, and that includes big cities where access is not necessarily a problem, and remote areas where access is a problem.
And then we have one more here about research programs. If you're involved in research programs, and what types of research? And now you already said there's been 4 publications, and I'm sure you are.
And somehow we want, or we see the need to make sure that the research that is done is aimed at being implemented. And to do that, we are trying to make sure that all the research that is done through us, first of all, is international. So you can't say, oh, that study was done in Germany, in India, or in the States, so it can't be done in our country. No, we are trying to work on international research. And we're also trying to work on research that matters. So there are organizations who work very well in fundamental research, etc. That's good, and we need some people like that. Our research is more geared towards practical management and geared at being implemented onto the field. So the field we're working, obviously, is compression. We have several projects in terms of compression, and new diagnostic tools also is something we want to work on, etc. So there's quite a lot we are doing. And just to finish, what we see is that with ILF, somehow in maybe 5 years down the line, we will have been able to answer some of the key questions that do not have an answer yet, or need an answer yet.
Yeah. But you had one research project which was fantastic with 3M.
Yep.
Because that was ILF, 3M, which is in the industry, but in 3 countries,
Yep.
right? And I think it was Australia, Canada, and USA, wasn't it? Or was it England?
No, in the UK, Australia, and Canada. Yeah.
So in 3 different parts of the world,
Yep.
they had the same research, and to see where they ended up.
Yep.
And it was beautiful.
Yep.
Result was